Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be moving through a really gentle, nice hip opening, stretchy flow. So let's get started rolling out the mat and finding a comfortable seat. Begin by closing down the eyes. Taking really deep, soothing, nurturing breaths through the nose and out through the nose. Grounding down, letting go. Before we get moving, just take a moment to just be. Be who you are, be where you are. Be okay with where you are. And welcome to open up the eyes. So if you're on your knees or maybe cross-legged, just take a moment to start to just shift side to side, maybe opening up the spine, waking it up. And as you get a little bit deeper into it, maybe you want to roll the head back and forth. Just waking everything up. We're going to be moving nice and slowly for this practice. Soothing our muscles, our joints. Maybe you want to let the shoulders get in on this, rolling them back or maybe rolling them forward. Just finding a bit of a flow. And whenever you're ready, you can come to stillness. You can open up the eyes if they were closed, and then finding your knees, coming through tabletop. Stacking the wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take the knees nice and wide here. Let your toes untuck and then sit your hips all the way back and down for your wide-legged child's pose. Just gently opening up those hips. You can let the forehead relax. Let your entire body melt towards the floor. Starting to create your Ujjayi breath. Next inhale, peeling yourself back up off of the mat. Let the knees come underneath the hips. Finding neutral spine. Inhale, take that right leg out back. Towards the back of the room, flex the foot. Release your breath. Big inhale, lengthening. Exhale, draw it through. Knee to chest. We're going to step our foot right through towards our hands, right between, and then we're going to sink the hips all the way down. So finding a low lunge here. And maybe you want to come to the fingertips. Maybe you want to rock side to side. Big inhale, lengthening, opening up through the heart space. And then exhale, send your hips back in space, straightening out that front leg. Let the right toes point towards the sky. Inhale, lengthening. And then exhale, maybe find a little bit of a stretch. Letting your heart stay nice and open. Letting the top of the spine stay straight, stay controlled, and then letting the lower spine curl over the leg, the hip. Again, maybe you want to find some movement here. Next inhale, shifting it forwards. And I invite you to close down the eyes, feeling into any parts that are nice and juicy, rocking the hips side to side. Big inhale here, open up through the heart space. Exhale, send it back. Next inhale, come all the way forwards, plant the palms. Bring your knee back in towards your chest, let your foot come all the way back to tabletop. You can shake out the hips here, maybe rock side to side. Next inhale, send that left leg back towards the back of the room. Flex the foot. Release the breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, draw it in towards your chest. Step it through between the palms. Nice. Let your hips sink forward, sinking down. Maybe find some movement here. Remembering to keep your chest nice and open. We're accepting all of those positive vibes, that positive energy, all of the light, the warmth. Letting go of what doesn't serve you, what you're holding on to, maybe anger, maybe grief. Let it all go. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, sending it back, straightening out that front leg. Let your left toes point towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, find a fold. I invite you to close down the eyes. Feel it out. Maybe rock side to side. Next inhale, shift it forwards. Checking in with the body. Is there any emotions that come up? Is there any sensations that arise? Big inhale here. Exhale, send it back. I find that we hold a lot of emotions in our hips, especially us women. Oftentimes when I do these deep hip stretches, it's helpful to journal afterwards, writing down anything that came up for you, maybe physically, maybe mentally. Inhale, shift it forwards, plant the palms, bring the knee in towards the chest and step it back. Nice tabletop. And shaking out the hips here, maybe rocking side to side. Let your body flow however it wants to. And let's let the hips sink all the way down onto the heels. And just sitting upright, taking a moment. And finding space on our sit bones, let the feet come out long in front. And let the toes point up towards the sky. Take a flex to those feet. And big inhale up towards the sky, lengthening through the spine, squaring off the hips. And then exhale, forward fold. However deep you want to go. Doesn't have to look like anything. Next inhale, come all the way up. Take your left foot in towards your inner thigh. Bend to that left knee. Inhale, squaring off the hips. Lengthening. And then exhale, forward fold over the right leg. When I find myself looking for deeper answers of why these things happen, why do bad things happen to good people, and start to journal and get really into it, and more times than not find myself in this conclusion of the universe only gives to people what they can handle. And if you really think about that, you can find some peace with that. Find strength in it. And maybe some challenging times come your way because you are strong enough, because you've learned your lessons and you have the toolkit to overcome the adversity in front of you. Next inhale, come all the way up. Switching legs, let that left leg come out long. Let the right come on in. Keeping the left toes flexed towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, square off the hips. Exhale, forward fold. And a family member, a loved one, passed away recently, and find that death is such a beautiful reminder to live the life that you want to live. To not be scared to take risks. To not have any regrets, any mischances. Maybe some of you agree, maybe some of you don't. Inhale, lengthen. Come all the way up. Take the 2 feet together, bottoms of the feet touch. Find our cobbler's pose. Inhale, lengthening through the heart, through the spine. Maybe you want to sit up right here. Maybe you want to stay in this position. Maybe that's deep enough. Or I invite you to come forward. Maybe rock side to side. See what feels good. Stay in a spot that feels a little bit more juicy. So in these hard days, these hard moments, these tough situations where there's a lot of overwhelm, a lot of frustration and hard feelings, you can always come back to this beautiful thought that everything happens for a reason. The universe only gives you what you can handle. Next inhale, come all the way up. Lift that right leg. Place it just in front of the left foot. Take your knee towards the sky. And we're going to grab onto that left foot. Draw it all the way across and over to the right hip. So the left knee is in front of you. We're doing our little Dorito stretch here is what I like to call it. So left knee is in front, left heel is beside the right hip. Then we'll grab onto that right foot. Send our right foot towards our left hip. Send our right knee on top of our left. Like almost a triangular Dorito chip. And it's okay if your foot's out here and your knee's up a little bit. You can work into that, maybe rock side to side. Feeling into this new stretch, this new position, these new feelings. If you have space, I invite you to grab onto the feet. Wherever your feet are, maybe they're farther away from the body. Maybe they're nice and close. And closing down the eyes, really grounding down here. Maybe you want to come forward, leaning over the legs, over the hips. Just reflecting inward about how you handle tough times. Maybe you can change. Maybe you can handle it a little bit easier with a little bit more grace. Maybe you can be kinder to others that have tried to help you. Maybe you have someone going through a tough time and you can offer a shoulder to lean on. There's always so much self-reflection we can do. Next inhale, come all the way up. Unravel the legs. Shake it out. Let the knees find stillness for a moment. And then we'll try the other side. So grabbing onto that right foot, bringing it into the left hip, right knee on bottom this time. And grabbing onto the left foot, send it into the right hip. Left knee stacked on top of right. Really feeling that stretch through that left glute. Again, you're welcome to close down the eyes. I invite you to grab onto the feet. Feel that sense of grounding. Maybe even interlace the fingers and the toes. Maybe you want to find stillness or fold forward over the feet, over the legs. Maybe you want to rock a little bit side to side. You holding on to any emotions here. Letting them all go. All of your emotions, all of the thoughts, all of the pain, the suffering. There's this beautiful quote I heard the other day. And it went as something a little bit like, pain in life is inevitable. But suffering is optional, right? So we're always going to have these painful times. There's always going to be pain. It's inevitable. But we do not have to suffer through the pain. We can find pain and we can overcome it, and we can face it with love and light. Suffering is optional. It's only for those who choose to suffer through it. Find other ways to cope. Substances, anger. We can always choose a better path. We can always put ourselves in a state of happiness and joy. Inhale, come all the way up. Unravel the legs, shake it out. Let it all go. Oh, that was a deep one. Bring the knees in tight. Grab hold of the knees and give yourself a little rock and roll. Finding way onto the back. Bring your knees in towards the chest. And then finding the feet. Coming to your happy baby. Let's bring a bit of playfulness into the last little part of our practice. You can rock side to side. Now I invite you to find a really happy memory, a joyful one. The last memory that you found yourself not looking at your watch, not looking at your phone, but like in this state of pure presence, pure happiness. Maybe you were laughing hysterically with a girlfriend, or maybe you were out paddleboarding and you were just in this pure blissful state. Or maybe you were on the phone with an old friend. You were talking about a memory that you had. Who knows? Bring yourself to that moment. Place yourself in that part of time. What was going through your head? How did your body feel? Can you remember any smells, or what clothes you were wearing, where you were? Maybe it brings tears to your eyes. Take a moment to just be in that moment. And then coming back to this moment. Can you put yourself in that state of happiness? Can you bring that love and light into your presence and take it with you throughout the rest of your day? Can you shine it onto others around you? Maybe the clerk at the grocery store. You can let the feet go. And we'll find our way to our final Shavasana. So let the legs fall long if that's what you prefer. Let the ankles fall open. Let the palms face up. Allowing yourself to be still, to stop thinking, to come back to the breath. And let's take a deep inhale through the nose and then sigh it out. Big inhale. Let it go. 2 more times, inhale. Release everything. These next few moments are yours. And let your entire body relax and just be. And drawing awareness back. Come back to the breath. Come back to the sensations. The cool ground beneath you. The smell of the room. And the birds singing outside. Take any movements you like. Maybe roll the ankles, the wrists. Shake the head side to side. And whenever you're ready, you can make your way to one side. Place a palm into the ground and then come on back to seated. And keeping the eyes closed just for a moment longer. Take the palms up, shake them out. And then place them back down. Let the palms face upwards. Let the shoulders roll back and down along your spine. This feeling of surrender to the greater good, to the divine, to the universe's power. Bringing the hands to prayer, rubbing the palms together, creating heat, creating friction. Placing the warm palms over the closed eyes. Take a breath. Embracing the light, bring the hands back into prayer. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week. Namaste.